I want to also talk about game management, by the way. Salah, he was subbed off. In total, Liverpool made 5 substitutions. City only made 1. It's not the first time we've seen Pep make very few or sometimes 0 substitutions. I asked a question at half-time about the squad that he has. Does that surprise you sometimes, Pep's game management? They're chasing the game. They've got game changers literally on the bench.
Yeah, it does surprise us. You look at the quality they've got on the bench and you look at what they're doing on the pitch. Could someone off the bench inject something different into the team? We believe that can. But Pep Guardiola, sometimes he sticks with what he's got because he feels that's the best bet to get a result. And listen, for me, I think he should have made some substitutions earlier and give his team a chance. But it was very close, we know that. And Liverpool are at home, they're going to get some opportunities. You can't keep a team like Liverpool down for the 90 minutes without them getting some opportunities. But I thought he would have given his own team an opportunity to get back in.
Grealish, your former teammate, £100 million on the bench. Riyad Mahrez, we've seen him
really
change
surprised,
games.
and I'll tell you why, because he comes to the point to City, you can see that it's not happening there. So making changes, you give a different option and different solution for your team, making sure that you've got something different. For example, Mahrez. He's completely different. They hardly went on the right-hand side. Mahrez, what he does is he commits with the ball. He takes people on. He creates incredibly with his left foot, so it's completely different. Jack Grealish, he drives at players. And what you do, you win fouls. He holds the ball. He gets to the right areas. So for me, it was a big surprise. For Liverpool, not. What Klopp did is he managed the team. He managed his players because he knew that after 65, 70 minutes, the energy would drop. So he needed a new injection of energy to give him that intensity until the end of the game.
How will someone like Jack Grealish be feeling when he isn't brought off the bench for a game like this, particularly after they went 1-0 down, and you know you have the ability to be a potential match winner or a game changer, Stan?
I hope not. I would be. I would be, definitely. But this is the games that you go there and want to play. This is where you want to perform. This is where you want to show why you're at that club. And nobody else was given that opportunity. And
only Alvarez.
Yes, and Pep will probably have the explanation for it.
Yeah. I think we have to be really careful sat here because we're questioning Pep Guardiola. Hang on a second. We all know what's on Pep Guardiola's CV. It's exceptional, isn't it? So to start sitting here saying, no, Guardiola should have made changes.
But he lost the game, Gary. He still lost the game today. I know everything he's achieved.
Have a look at the games over the last 5 seasons. Yeah? Let's go over the last 6 even, where he's had, 4 wins, 4 title wins, a second and a third, right? I don't think we can sit here questioning Pep Guardiola. I think Pep Guardiola believed that what he had out there and leaving on what he had out there was the best chance that his team had of getting a goal to draw 1-1 or to getting 2 goals to win it 2-1.
But can the manager make a mistake? And if he does make a mistake, can he be called out? And perhaps today, not bringing anybody on but Alvarez was a mistake. It's in fairness, we're allowed to say that,
Well, it's very easy to sit here with hindsight and say they lost 1-0, he should have made substitutions. Well, actually, was his first 11 the right choice? You know, I don't think we can sit here saying that, personally. I really don't.
That's why we know managers. But it's not about, not about the judgment, it's about giving an opinion of what could have happened, you know, giving different solution, different option to his team. What we would love to see, what we would like to see in that final stage of the game. Because Nunes, he could have scored 2 goals. He could have set up Salah. There is the flip side is Klopp actually made those changes because he wanted to something different. And Pep, did we see anything different? No. It was more flat performance in the last 15 minutes that actually injecting something different in it.
He's poor, isn't he, Guardiola? Makes bad decisions.
At the end of the day,
it's normal.
We all know what Pep Guardiola has done. But when you're asking my opinion. My opinion is Pep Guardiola should have brought on an injection of speed, an injection of somebody who can do something a little bit different.
And that would have worked?
No, hey, but that's what the subs are there for.
No, but the question is, would that have worked?
No, but I don't know. But you only find out when you make the change.
So he makes 3 substitutions and they get beat 2-0.
Yeah, but they're losing anyway. That's the point. You have to try and do something to alter the result of the game. And Pep Guardiola hasn't done that.
No, what he did was he stuck with what he believed was going to win it from the first minute.
100%. But in my opinion, he got it wrong. And the result proves that.
And the question was, how would Jack Grealish feel? Angry.
Yeah.
You know what? Because this is where you want to perform. This is what you want to do. And if I'm a player,
Mahrez will be angry as well.
If I'm a player, I'll be knocking and say, listen, you brought me here to change games and managing games. This is what it's all, managing game. It's one thing you believe, but Pep Guardiola, I'm sure he's got explanation, and probably if we hear the interview, you answer. But the problem is that you look for a different option, different solution for your team, giving something different, and that's why you have subs. That's why they call subs. It comes a point of the game is like, it's not working. It's not there, what I'm doing to change it. And we haven't seen anything that Pep could do today. We saw the opportunities, but he haven't done it. And it must be a reason. He must, like you say, maybe believes that that's the system and that's the player could have given him.
He believed that, for sure. But Pep Guardiola, he believes in his players. For sure he believes that.
You know, he's not doing his best to lose the game, is he?
No, of course not. Of course not.
But it's just, Gary, like you said that he believed that starting 11 that he chose was good enough to win the match. But they found themselves 1-0 down at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've got all these options on the bench.
It's very hard for me to argue against what you're saying, and you're saying he should have made.
I'm not saying he should have. I'm just saying that. Why campaign previously?
Well, Kevin's saying.
Well,
Kevin's saying
yes,
he should have done.
he's saying
I'm
that.
saying 100%.
I'm just wondering why in the past he's campaigned about players being tired, having too many fixtures, that he wanted 5 substitutions, when not for the first time he's decided to make only 1 substitution, because there's been games he hasn't made any. Yet you come out and you complain previously about them only being 3 subs when there should be 5, which there are now, and players getting tired. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Well, I don't know if I'm being unfair.
Well, in midweek they played, didn't they, in the Champions League?
And they got a red card and they had to shift things around.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He made 5 changes in midweek from his previous starting 11. So that meant that today he made, I think it's either 4 or 5 from that midweek.
Yeah.
So he's rotating his squad.
He is. But then why say you want 5 substitutions in a game? If you're going to consider it Europe, Premier League, they're asking for 5 substitutions in a game because the players get tired. By that logic, should have just stuck with 3. It doesn't matter.
And your question when is the £100 million player was sitting on a bench, why he's not being used, why he's not there, and this is where it's very relevant to what you're saying. Is that they're talking about too many games. How are we going to rotate players? How are we going to use them in the right moments, in the right areas? Today, he did not use them.
But that's my point. He didn't.
Yes, and that's where the question, and I hope that when he have his interview, he probably answers.
Sometimes, let's just put it there, sometimes Pep Guardiola, who is the best manager in the world, by the way, sometimes Pep Guardiola is stubborn. That's the bottom line. He's stubborn and he sticks to what he... That's probably why he's the best.
His success.
No, exactly. That's why. But
it
can also hinder him as well.
Like the Champions League final.
Exactly. It can also hinder him to try and be a little bit too clever. Because when you've seen Liverpool change players, getting the energy even higher, maybe, as I say, it's my opinion that I've got to do something a little bit different, because they seem to be quite comfortable letting us have the ball, and we're not creating anything in the end.